Well, hello everyone. I've already had a technical difficulty. This is my first live, as you can see down below. Welcome to the first live. Yeah, this is scary, but I'm going to do the best I can. Hello, my name is Catherine, and this is EleWebDev, short for Elementor Website Development. And yes, I'm so nervous. My brain is having freak out sessions and it's not working, but hey, I'm here. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. And even I'm nervous and the dog knows I'm nervous too. So if you hear any clickety clacking, and yeah, she's here too. So welcome everyone, wherever you are, this morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Now I must say that I kind of am the fill-in, an alternate for some of you Elementor live viewers of the Web Squadron show that happens every day at 7 a.m. here on the Eastern United States. I know that's 6 hours ahead, don't ask me to do math. But Imran has a little voice problem and he's sick and he's going to be out for a couple of days. So here I am as your alternative to fill in while he's gone. At any rate, I have only about 40 subscribers so far. And so most of the people that are subscribers are people that also subscribe to Imran. So I have to be on my best behavior today. But anyway, I'm here, and do I have anybody here? Yeah, there's one person, but I think that's me looking at myself because I have a tab open in another window, but you know, hello if you're here. Oh look, I can even see my own self in the chat. Obviously there's a little bot that feeds information to me from my own channel. Interesting. So if you want to know my setup, I have, I'm using Ecamm. And last October, I took a course in Ecamm, learning how to use the software. They have a wonderful community, a safe environment, a private environment to go in live with other people in their own little community so that you can learn how to go live, learn the software, which is a pretty big undertaking. There's scenes and there's overlays and there's sound effects and there's camera effects, and then you got to go live and use your brain. And so someone like myself who is an introvert, it's quite the challenge. And I have these deer in the headlight moments that my brain just doesn't work. So I literally created a cheat sheet so that I would be able to know what I'm doing when I'm doing. So I did say hello to everybody, and I did say that I'm here as an alternative to Web Squadron. I know it's 9 a.m. on the East Coast of the United States, and Imran usually goes online between 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning here on the United States. So I hope that I'm still looking at my little counter, and I'm the only one looking at my channel. So, hey, it's just me. I'm having a party. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am a geek, obviously, and I have been spending 22 years teaching older adults computer skills. It's just something that just came naturally to me. When I was 11 years old, my dad brought home what he thought was a child's toy. It happened to be a computer. Now, prior to being 11, I was a kid that loved Legos. So I was one of those Lego maniac kids. And so with me, back in the day, we had little boxes of Legos that were a little kit of some sort. And the box had a picture of the final project. And inside were all the pieces, obviously, with the instructions. So what I would do as a kid is I would open up the box, pour out the pieces, take the instructions, throw them across the room, and I would set the box up and I would try to put the thing together with the pieces in a commonsensical way because I got so good at it. Therein lies me being a web builder If you show me a picture of what you want, I can make it happen. So it just went from childhood to, a professional business. So my dad brought home this computer when I was 11, and I was about 11 years old where I thought there was something wrong with me. And so did the school system. And I was at a private school, and my parents were confused. And the private school were like, we really don't have a system. Either your kid can keep up or they can't. So I couldn't, and they sent me off to the public schools, which didn't do a really great job for my morale and confidence. So at any rate, they moved me to a private public school, and I still I had problems. But it was about that change when I got this computer. And so being a Lego maniac and just set me in front of a piece of equipment, this is where the genius in me came alive. Here's one of those brain moments where I have a pause and I have to catch up. So just like the Legos, I opened up the manual to this computer. I had my dad help me hook it up to the television, because back in the day we didn't have monitors, we had televisions, and that's how you were able to see a computer readout was on a television. And I just opened up the manual and started at it and followed the instructions just, like normal. You put piece A with piece B, and being a computer, type this in the keyboard and hit enter, and I began that instant gratification of type something that shows up on the screen. And this is when the genius came out, because my parents were paying attention, especially my mom. And she noticed how I could sit quietly with no distractions and be focused and follow steps and understand by myself. And so I kept doing the exercises, and I actually got bored because they were all the same. So I flipped to the back of the book, and the book was about 2 inches thick. And I flipped to the back of the book where they had this diagram of how you could, with the assistance of graph paper, put dots on the screen with the XY coordinates, and then you added the color code and you added the XY coordinates and you put all that in there, and poof, dots would show up on the screen. And so I asked my mom for graph paper, and she said, she was curious, why do you want graph paper? And I said, because I want, I told her the whole XY coordinate and typing in the code and making things happen on the screen. And she saw the genius that was this child. And so I pretty much convinced my parents that computers were the thing for me. And here I am. Some 22 years later, when I got out of college, I actually went for art first. And then I majored in video. This was circa 1990. So we were still using film at that point. We had not gone digital. This was what, 30 years ago? Yeah, 30 years ago. And my favorite class in college was the history of film, where we basically studied how films were built and the first films. And then we focused on Alfred Hitchcock, because he was kind of like the guy back in the day of, lighting and scenes and how he made his films. And so, we're talking Psycho and The Birds and, those classic hits from the black and white days. So that's basically how I got here. And when I got out of college, I went to, this was 1996, 95, 96, when Microsoft came out with their first GUI interface of Windows 95. And somehow my mom got tickets. Somebody was going and asked my mom, I can't go. Do you want these tickets? Does Catherine want these tickets? So that was the game changer. That was the inspiration that led me to building websites. So again, this was 1995. Excuse me just a second. I can hear my voice getting rattly. And I still see that I'm the only one watching myself. Lovely. Anyway, this will be for future use. So there I was in this Microsoft Windows 95 webinar, lots of people in the room, huge monstrous screens on the wall, and they were talking about Windows 95. It was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And this was also the introduction to the internet. What was the internet? How did the internet work? What were web pages? What were hyperlinks back in the day? Links. You know, and then the guy on the internet decided to do a little something. I'm going to talk my way through this to give you an example. A guy, he was saying, okay, here's a web page, here's a hyperlink, here's an image on a page. Let me just show you the behind the scenes. Hold on, let me just do that again because I didn't get what I wanted. I am just not doing what I need to do. Hold on just a second, boys and girls. Okay, so I also have something to build today, and I may not build it completely because I don't want to spend all day boring you all because obviously no one showed up. Okay, so let me just show you what this guy pulled up on the screen that made me go, ooh, I want to learn how to do this. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to switch to this other scene, and here I am in the corner. So basically, this is the HTML code. It's changed through the years. It's gotten a lot complicated. Don't pay attention to that stuff up there. That's the inspector where I can look at the HTML code and stuff like that. Excuse me just a moment. I need to clear my throat, so I need to mute my microphone. All right, I'm back. So yeah, this is the code over on the screen. And they flipped the web page to see this code. And I was taken aback. I was like, oh, and I elbowed my mom and I said, that's what I want to do. I want to build web pages. Now, that takes a unique soul to look at a screen of a bunch of code and it touches your soul, the deepest part of your archetypal geek personality, that just looking at that inspires you to want to be a web page builder. I don't understand it myself either. So, but there it is. That's me. That's how I got here. And here I am with the first live of EleWebDev. Of more, obviously I'm the only one here, which is very sad. Let me cry a river. About myself. How much time have we been on here? Because see, I don't want to waste your time. 15 minutes. We're going to be here an hour. So let's just grab a tasty snack, salty, tasty snack, and a warm, tasty beverage. And let's just sit back and I'll slow down. And hold on just a second. Let me just set a timer so that I don't waste your time and run over. I'm going to set my lovely Apple Watch to 30 minutes so that I don't go over an hour. Alrighty, so let's get to what we're going to do today. So let me just show you. So a couple of weeks ago, you know, as content creators here on the internet, we are always trying to find new and challenging things, not only for ourselves, but for our audience who isn't here today. Y'all, come on, send me some love and show up. I scheduled this 2 days ago. Where are y'all? All right, come on. You upset me. Nobody loves me. All right, let's move on. A little drama queen coming out there for you. So here I'm going to show you what came in the mail. Okay, yeah, here we go. This is what came in the mail a couple of days ago. It's a White Oak Estates assisted living postcard. I don't know why they sent it to me. They must know that, if I get old and crotchety in my years and need a place to go, yeah. It is, they don't have my name. It just says postal customer. Okay, so let's just get back to the topic. Y'all, I have squirrel syndrome. I'm sorry. Let me put this in the corner. Let me straighten it out so it's not, okay, there it is. So I decided, hey, why don't I build that and say, can you actually take something that was graphic design and put it on a web page? Well, guess what, boys and girls? I did, because I'm that kind of Lego builder that if I see something, I'm going to give it a try. All right, so let me set this up for you, because you can't just, here, let me pull this back up again. You just can't make images like that. You could with the help of probably absolute positioning, but if you know anything about absolute positioning, intermediate and advanced users who are watching this after the fact, because nobody's watching it now, huh? Give me some love, people. Anyway, absolute positioning is only used absolutely if you have to. Pardon the pun, but true. So I also like to use Adobe XD. Now, boys and girls, I know that Adobe Adobe Creative Cloud is a massive $50 some odd a month package of tools. And you don't have to spend $50, $60 a month. You can just get Photoshop and a couple. I wish they would do an a la carte of like 3 apps at one time. Like you can only use 3 at a time. Like if I need Photoshop and XD, and even though XD is free, yes, it is free, boys and girls. Let me just make sure you understand that. Adobe XD is free. You don't have to buy a Creative Cloud account with that. So let me pop up XD on the screen. Let me get it open first. All right, and let me open up the thing here. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Oops, come back here, you. All right, let me set this up and put it right there. And let's switch to it right there. Okay, so here I am in Adobe XD. And so what I did in this first section here, let me see if I can, oh yes I can. Hold on just a second. Oh, hey, so sorry. Let me fix that. Oh, so sorry. Hey, this is live. Okay, I'm trying to zoom in so that you can see more of it. There we are. Okay, so it's bigger. So what I did in Adobe XD was I created the shapes. So let me just, you probably can't see it, but here it is. Here, I'll show it in my little screen here. Yeah, there we go. So I'm putting my hand over it. It's backwards. Okay. So that shape looks similar to this shape, right? Okay. And you're saying, Catherine, why is it red? Because those are shapes that I give a color to, because, you have to have a color to know that it's a mask, and I just use red. So I created the shapes and put them on the artboard. Whatever you call it. Is it an artboard? Yes, it's an artboard. Okay. And I put the shapes in there similarly looking to the postcard. So let us again look at the postcard, and that looks similar to it. Okay, good. So then, once I make these shapes in XD, let me scroll down, I then dropped in some images. They are not old people. I put women with smiley faces. Okay. Because I was depressed that they gave me the postcard. They think I'm old and I need assisted living. No, I don't. Not yet. Not yet. Alrighty. So I added the pictures, and then I exported it. Okay. And then we'll go back to the page, and I brought in the image, and I just dropped it in, because it is an image dropped in. So why don't we just rebuild this. Okay, so I'm going to open up another section down below. Now, boys and girls, I am using sections. I am using the experimental, not sections, containers. See, I don't even have the vocabulary right yet. So we are using the experimental containers. Yes, you can see that right here. Let me get my fancy schmancy circle with the container right there. Excuse me, my voice. Y'all, when I get nervous, let's just put a pause button here just a second. Let me just tell you a little story. Nobody's watching me. Oh, breaks my heart. All right, the story. Excuse me, just a second. There we go. So I have been to a few, yes, a lot of WordPress, what do you call them? WordCamps. If anybody works with WordPress and you haven't been to a WordCamp, you can't really do it now because we're still in a pandemic. God bless you if you decide to want to get out into the wild. Y'all, I'm a hermit. Let me just tell you something. As a hermit and as an introvert, I'm going to get to the story. Hold on just a second. I'm just taking a sidebar here. Going out into public, I have been to 3 restaurants in 2 years. If I go to the grocery store, now still, 2 years in, I still wear double mask. Y'all, it's coming back around again. You know, I'm telling you, it's going to come back around again. The CDC and everybody says it's going to come back around again. Been boosted and vaccinated, and I'm going to get another boost probably here in the next couple of months to last me through. Y'all, I'm telling you, this winter, it's going to be bad again. That's my fortune telling for right now. Okay, so back to the story of WordCamp. Okay. So if they have been doing virtual WordCamps through Zoom and all that kind of stuff. Yay, Zoom. And so I've been to a lot of WordCamps, and there's one, probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours away, that I used to go to a lot, that I decided to volunteer at. And one year, this introvert decided that she was going to, somebody asked me to talk about a subject. I don't even remember what the subject was. But guess who lost their voice, Imran? Web Squadron. Guess who lost their voice literally in the middle of the talk? Half an hour talk, 15 minutes in, and I lost my voice. But it was not from an illness. It was panic, stress, introvertedness, and 75 people in a room. Yep, subconscious said, girl, this ain't the platform for you. Just stare at yourself and look at yourself on your monitor and you'll be fine and you won't lose your voice. So anyway, let's get back to the, if I can hit the right button. Oh, by the way, I have a Stream Deck with buttons, but I also have at my feet, if I can hit the right button, a pedal on the floor that I don't have to think. I can just use my foot. It's got 3 little pedals, and if you're wondering what kind of floor pedal I'm using, I am a friend of Elgato. I have Elgato lights, I have the Elgato pedal, and I have the Elgato Stream, and I've got another Elgato medium one over there on my other station. So this is my streaming station. I have a everyday web working station. So yeah, no one's still watching. Y'all, come on, give me some love. Come on, one of you 40 people, watch me. Okay, I don't understand. 2 days ago, I scheduled this, but people didn't get the message. All right, let's move on. So here we are. So we're just going to move along. Squirrel syndrome is up in my business. Where are we? We're half an hour in. Okay, I think in 30 minutes I can get this done. All right, so let's build this. I am using containers, so I'm going to right-click, edit container, and I'm going to give myself some space at the top. Let's give myself 50. All right, make it 100. 100. Okay. And I'll just hit update just because I'm happy. Okay, so I need a 50-50 split. So let me just get rid of that. Well, that's one container, and a 50-50 split is actually you dropping in 2 more containers. So let me just drop a container and duplicate it. Okay. All right. We need it side by side. All right. Here's a pause button. I'm getting off track. Now, if you are a new user to Elementor, because this is my target market, if you don't see these buttons here, a lot of people as newbies don't know this. How do you turn on these handles, these little handles for the duplicate and the delete? Come up here, let me use my pointer, come up here to the hamburger icon, right here, hamburger, and we'll click on it, and we'll go to User Preferences, and right here, not Enable Lightbox, Editing Handles, you need to turn that on. Now, Elementor, I'm talking to you. Make this default. Make this default. Just make it a default thing. Okay, boys and girls, something happened. I hit a button and my internet connection went bye-bye. I don't know if I'm still live or not. I don't know if this is another stream. Okay, hold on just a second. I was not expecting this kind of problem. Excuse me just for a moment while I figure out what just went wrong. Am I still live? Excuse me just a moment. Am I live? Am I live? I don't know. I don't know if it picks back up to where I just lost my place. I didn't hit end stream. It said I had an internet problem. Excuse me just a moment while I check my speed test. I'm using the speed test app. By the way, I am a Mac gal. All right, let me just do a test here real quick. Nope, don't want that. Nope, don't want that either. Change the server. The closest one is that. And we're just going to hit go. We're going to hit our test here. La 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 la. I have an upload speed, a download speed of 450 megabytes per second. And what is my upload speed? Come on, baby. Give me more than 10. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, 10. Give me 10. Give me 12. Give me 13. 14. Give me 15. No. 14 and a half. 14 and 3/4. Okay. Obviously, the internet burped because I really don't know. Okay, hold on just a second. Let me go to my channel content. I guess it just picks up where it left off and it keeps using the same thing. Okay. Sorry for that rude interruption. I don't know what happened. I may have hit a button that caused things to happen. Okay, so yeah. All right, we're just going to continue where we left off. It says my thing is excellent condition. I am so sorry. I'm glad that I'm having this now when nobody's watching. I have a big fat 0 because I stopped watching myself. Yeah. So that's sad. Anyway, let's get back to where we were, shall we? Let's get back to here and here. Okay. Here we go. All right. All right. I hope this comes out right. All righty. So I need to draw, okay, so we're using containers. Okay, where I left off was enable the, get the pointer and get the control button. Editing handles, oh yes, we want this. Make sure that you always have your editing handles on. All right, so let's get back to this and edit the container. All right, so if you're new to the channel, which nobody's watching, that's okay. Let me turn that off. So we're using the experimental feature of the containers. And you're saying, how do you use the experimental feature? Now, I'm going to go right back to my squirrel syndrome, but hey, this channel is dedicated to beginners and intermediates of the Elementor page builder for WordPress. So let us just go to the Elementor tools, and nope, the settings, experiments. So if you go to Elementor settings, I love my little pointer, Elementor settings and experiments. Yes, this means, boys and girls, when you turn things on in the experiments, it could break. All right, so let's just know that. So in my video where I say don't turn it on if it is a live public web page, because things can break, your site can go down. Don't use it on a client site, okay? Until Elementor reveals the big party for using containers, which won't be that long, because tomorrow, boys and girls, tomorrow, pay attention, tomorrow I am releasing a video about container bugs, 2 of them. So tomorrow I'm releasing a video, but nobody's here and nobody cares, so we'll just move on. So there are stable features right here. There are stable features. Oops, come on, pointer. Stable features, and then there are ongoing experiments. These are the things, boys and girls, you don't want to turn on unless you want things to break, possibly. So here in the ongoing experiments is the Flexbox container. I have it set to active. It may be default, and notice here, status alpha, meaning we just threw it in there and you're on your own. Make sure you have a backup. Okay, good to know. That's how you turn on the experimental feature. Don't do it on a production site. And I could go down another rabbit hole, but I'm not going to, so let's move on. Okay, so I'm using, let me just go through that again. I'm sorry, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to add a container, one container. See, I could have started with a 50-50, but let me just show you how you build a 50-50. You build a container, and let me just do that one more time. Because, look, boys and girls, if I turn on my pointer and I see, you can have a one container that goes in a column up and down. You can have one container that goes left and right, or you can just go ahead and build 50-50. But if you're not thinking and you decide you need to change it later, let me just show you how you can manually build a 50-50. And if I wasn't thinking and I just click the first one, there it is. Okay. And we'll go back and I'm going to add, because I like visual space, margin, top, 100. Okay, there we go. So I dropped in a container. Now I'm going to go into my widgets and I'm going to add another container. And then, since I turned on the handles, we're going to duplicate. Now, it's defaulted as a column up and down, but all I have to do is come into the settings, edit container, go to the layout, come to items, and make it a row. And then they go 50-50. But as you notice, boys and girls, there is a default gap right here. Default gap, pointer. Default gap of 20 pixels. We're going to make that 0. Boop. And so now there is no gap here. Lovely. All right. How much time do I have left? I don't know. My timer is somewhere. I have 10 minutes. We can do this in 10 minutes. Let me see how long I've been on stream. Okay. All right. Let's move along. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop in the image. So let's go to the image. We're going to drop the image in there. We're going to choose the image. There it is. Insert. And I think what I did was I made this a little bit wider because this looks a little small. So let's just go see what I did. I'm going to right click, edit. It is full width, okay? How can it be full width? That's the container, full width, 100%. And maybe I centered it. We'll find out. Let's just go with the flow, boys and girls. Let's just go with the flow. Okay, so we're going to go full width. What just happened? I'm not quite sure. What just happened? I think what I did. Okay, yeah, this is live. This is boys and girls. I do have a brain. Just give me a moment. Right click. Okay, let's just go into this container, edit image, full width, 47%. I don't know what I did with that, but we're just going to go with the flow. I'm going to right click, edit image, width, percentage, 47% of, boys and girls, this is live and I'm struggling. I am live and I am minimum height. Thank you. All right, hold on just a second. What was the minimum height of this one? It doesn't have one. Okay, the reason why, boys and girls, I am struggling is because I need to grab this content right here. So I'm going to copy it and paste it. What is going on? Boys and girls, this is just a sad, sad live, let me tell you. But I'm glad there's nobody here watching me, because you know what I can do? I can delete this when it's done. Why? I don't understand what's going on. Why is my stuff so small? Edit image. Let's take that out and delete. What is going on? I have never had so many problems in my life. What's going on? Edit container, full width. Right click, edit container. Box, that's the problem. Go full width. Now we're talking. Okay, we need the full width of this container. Right there, bang. Now we're talking. Alrighty. So I do have a brain, it does work. All right, so now we're just gonna copy this little, what is that thing called? It's called a divider. And I'm gonna paste it in there. And I'm gonna copy this. And I'm going to paste it in there. Pasty paste. Okay. Now, you're probably saying, look, Catherine, the text is breaking and the paragraph is not. Can you explain that to me? All right, we'll go into this. I love the way the back end works with Elementor. Notice here, boys and girls, I have BR tags. BR, which is the HTML equivalent of breakline. It is a angle bracket to the left, BR, angle bracket to the right. And I put those in a strategic place of where I want words to forcibly wrap. So that is how that works. That's a little tip for you, you newbies. All right, so we've got our content in there, and then we need to align our content because it is to the top. So I'm going to go into, let's just take a pause, and let's identify these containers. So I'm going to hit Command-I for the navigator. Now, boys and girls, I don't call this the navigator. I call it the inspector. Why? Because Command-I or Control-I on Windows is the keyboard shortcut to get the navigator open. But I call it the inspector. So if you hear me say the inspector, it's because I remember the keyboard shortcut of Command-I. Now you can't hit Command or Control-N because something will happen and I don't know what it is. So anyway, here we are at this second container. And okay, so I made this, let's just hide this right now. Where are we? I don't know. Okay, let me just turn that off real quick. Okay, so I labeled these. This one you see has the word, let me just magnify it because it is quite small. I have a parent container, and I use this as the parent-child relationship. So as you can see here, I have this container is the parent, which I labeled parent. How do you label it, Catherine? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Let me turn this off. Turn it off, please. Thank you. If you double-click the name, you can edit it. Did you know that? Now you do. So I have a parent container. I have a child container called image, and here's the image. And then I have a child container called text. And image, and then text. And then I've got heading, divider, heading, and image, which is the logo. So that's basically the structure of how I built this and how you can name everything that looks like a container. So if I turn that back on, please, thank you. So what I do is I come in here and I just say parent, and I name that parent. So it helps me understand what's containing what. So if I just open up the parent, then we've got a right-click image, and I can right-click the other container, and I can say text. So that's how you name these. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, so I need to go to the the text child container. And I'm going to right-click on it and choose Edit, and it was already selected. And I need to go to Items, and I need to make sure that things are centered in the middle of the space. There we go. And here in this container that holds the image, I'm going to edit the image container. I'm going to say I want the content to flex end. I want to push it to the right. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So pretty much there that is. Let me get rid of my inspector here for a moment. So I recreated that postcard. Here it is again. There's the postcard. But I haven't put the logo in, which, so we'll just copy that. Copy, copy. And we'll paste right there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some padding on the right of this text container. So we'll go to Advanced, and we'll put some padding on the right. And I'm just going to say 100. And let's just keep going. Let's make it 200. See, we want everything to line up underneath this, so we need more space. So let's go 300. Let's go 500. Oops, 50. That's better. Okay. But we need the content to align to the center. Wait, it's not going to. So how did I do this, boys and girls? I just don't know. Okay, we got to wrap this up because it's been an hour. Well, it's 9:44. I got 15 minutes. And here comes my voice again. Excuse me just a moment. Okay, I'm back. Much better. All righty. So how did I do this, boys and girls? Because, you know, sometimes I build things and I don't know how I did it. Okay, it's full width, 100%. Items. It is direction of a row and justify center. I thought I did that. I thought I did that just a minute ago. Items, justified, center. But it ain't moving, boys and girls. Maybe because, let's see here. Let's just see how wide this is. 47%. That's the problemo. What's the size of this one? That one is 30%. Okay, that tells me something right there. So let's come in here, edit the image container, not the image, the container, and put 47. And we'll edit the text and put 30 something in there. This container needs to be edited. Oh, advanced? No, layout. 37. Holy smokes. Okay, there we are. We're close. But the 200 on the right that I added needs to go bye-bye. Okay, let's edit the text. Go to advanced. Take the 500 off. All right, and let's squeeze that back down to 200. Okay, 200 is too much. Let's go 150. That's better. Okay. So you just got to play with it. You got to massage it, make it work a little bit better. So yeah, that's how we do that. I actually have a viewer. Hello, viewer. Could you please add a comment if you can? Because basically what I did was my subscribers have the ability to comment, but you have to be a subscriber for 2 days before you can comment. So if you're new, please subscribe. Then you have the option to comment. And I can see your comment, but I don't see any comments. So you must be a new subscriber, or not a new subscriber, but a new viewer who has yet to subscribe. Okay, so that is how I built this postcard. Here's a postcard again, if you didn't see it. I got the postcard in the mail. These people think that I'm 80 years old and I need to go to an assisted living, but no. So I created the first one, and then I had to go back and look at some of the settings because I forgot how I did it. That's how it is, boys and girls. I'm a genius in the moment, and then when I have to recreate it, I completely forget how I did it. But doesn't everybody do that with web pages? Yes, they do. So that's about all I have for today, because that was the Build It Live, my very first live. Thank you for joining me, whoever you are and wherever you are. Thank you for joining me and watching this tragedy of a live video, because this is my first one. See right there? Welcome to the first live. So, yeah, I hope to do many more of these lives. I've only been on for 48 minutes, and I don't want to waste your time because I know everybody's got other things to do. So I have some other topics. Let's see. I welcomed everybody. I told you that I am here today because Web Squadron Imran Sadiq is sick today. He lost his voice. I told you the story about me losing my voice when I went to do a WordPress WordCamp, and I got in front of a room full of 70 people. I'm an introvert, very shy, and I lost my voice within 15 minutes. That was fun. I've been in web development for 22 years, and I have also, you know what, this is the reason why they sent me this postcard for assisted living, because I have taught older adults for 22 years how to use computers and provide them IT support in their home, which I can no longer do. Although I'm vaccinated and boosted and wear a mask, I would rather much help them over Zoom, but sometimes for older adults, that's a challenge. So, let's see. I've learned web development along the way in the 22 years. So I have some topics that I'll spend for the next 10 minutes talking about. And I'm a deep thinker. Very deep thinker, because I spend a lot of time as a hermit in my house. I think I said over the past 2 years, I have been out to a restaurant. I can count 1, 2, 3 times I have been actually in a public place without a mask on. But you see, I'm one of these introverts that I love Zooms, and I love interacting with people through a screen. Not so much live, in person. So I find Zoom, I don't have Zoom fatigue. You know, that's a real thing. I don't have Zoom fatigue. I love it. I mean, if I had to do it every day, all day, then some fatigue would probably come in. But if I had 2 or 3 Zoom meetings a week, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But I do the Elementor. You may see me in the Elementor hosted Elementor chapters, around the world, speaking English in my time zone. You might see me there. What other topics? So I was getting to a point, and I have squirrel syndrome, and I go down rabbit holes. I just love animals. Allowing change. I find that people who work with computers, maybe you find this as well, and leave some comments down below. Allowing change. I find that people who work with computers have to deal with change all the time. And so I feel that we as computer users, software changes all the time. My first computer was an Apple IIc computer back in 1994, no, not 93, 83. I was 13 years old, yes. And so things change. My next computer was, I think, a Windows computer. Yes, it was a Windows computer because in the 90s when I went to college, I was emailing. This was before the advent of Windows 95. This was when the internet was in diapers. I was on AOL and I was emailing my mom back and forth. And I remember at like 5 o'clock, we would actively get online and check our email and send messages back and forth to each other. It was weird. And so I had to make a decision in 2000 because I was using Mac in the year 2000, and that was when everybody thought the world was going to come to an end. Listen, we have bigger problems right now. Computers with not knowing what's going to happen when it gets after 1999. Please. I think we can survive if computers crash. Wars and pandemics are going to take us out. But anyway, so year 2000, I had to sit down and literally, y'all, I had to sit down, make a decision. Do I want to stay at Mac or do I want to go to Windows? And this was a really soulfully conscious thought process. And I sat down and I had to say, okay, I am on Mac. I love Mac. Mac is very productive. Mac's computers turn on and you don't have to wait 50,000 years for an update and for everything to boot up. But then in the year 2000, Windows had so many more software companies available to build software for them, and Mac just was not feeling the love. They were more hardware and their own operating system. There were some software, like the big players like Adobe and Photoshop and things like that were available for Mac back in 2000, but I had to move to Windows. And because there were more software applications out there for the Windows operating system. So that's what I did. I moved from Mac to Windows. But I only stayed there for 12 years because I began to be unproductive with Windows. I am unproductive to begin with because I have squirrel syndrome and I go down rabbit holes and I'll see something and then I'll click on it and an hour later I haven't gotten done what the task I needed to get done was. So I am very cognizant of wasting people's time because I waste mine all the time. So allowing change, you have to change. You have to roll with the punches, especially when it comes to Elementor. Boy, you better have a backup because Elementor will release a feature and your website will go whoopsie. So if you're new to the channel, 3 things you need to make sure your site runs well. A very good web hosting. I have a very good web hosting company that I like, SiteGround. It's the only one I will use. Been with them since 2014. Won't use another web hosting provider. But if a client comes and they have another web hosting provider, it makes my job harder. But at any rate, the second thing you need is backups. You need a backup plugin. I don't care which one you use, just have one. If you have a very good web hosting provider, then you will need, I suggest you choose a web hosting provider that does backups. That's just another safety net. And the third thing that you need is a security plugin, because depending on the quality of your host, if it is substandard, not like SiteGround, they have their own fences that they build around their own servers. Thank you, SiteGround. But you're going to need, I still have a security plugin. I use iTheme Security. Now there's WordFence and a bunch of others, but when I got into WordPress, when did I get into WordPress? 2014. Prior to that, I was using Joomla as a content management system and downloading I wouldn't call it inappropriate, unsecure plugins for Joomla, and had a couple of client websites hacked by jokers who made JavaScript and Windows spin around. It was crazy. I decided that if I was ever going to use a content management system again, that I would learn security, or at least I would secure my site as best I could. So I suggest a security plugin, iTheme Security or WordFence. And do please pay for it, because you get what you pay for. If you don't pay for something, you're on your own. So, because all of the features you need to block your website from bad actors trying to get into your website using the admin username. I have a client right now on Hostinger. Hostinger's great, but we went for the, what's the plan? See, I'm having one of those brain moments where I'm nervous and I'm conscious and I can't get the words out of my mouth. Shared hosting, there's the word. If you plan to have a business or make a business building websites for somebody, do not use shared hosting, because everybody, okay, so what is shared hosting? Shared hosting is you have the web hosting provider has a server, and they put people on that server and give you a little piece of the pie of all of the RAM and all of the space, and they allot you that in a big pie. So your resources are divvied up depending on how many people are on that server. That's shared hosting. So if there is a bad actor and someone who is a resource hog, everybody on that server is going to suffer the consequences to one bad actor on one server. You don't want shared hosting. If your website doesn't see a lot of traffic and it's just an informational, non-transactional, meaning e-commerce or filling out a form or whatever, if it's just simply there for information to click, to write an email, fill out a form, contact you, nothing big, great, big, huge, important, then sure, shared hosting is for you. If you're testing and learning web development, sure, shared web hosting is for you. But if you are wanting security and you want a stable working environment, then you need dedicated hosting. If you go to any web hosting provider, there's shared, dedicated, and then there's cloud. That's big time money, $100, $200 a month to have a team of people monitoring your stuff. If you're using something like you have a very popular e-commerce website and you cannot be down because your life depends on e-commerce every day, that's when you go cloud. But I stay right in the middle with, it's not managed, but it's one tier up from shared hosting. I think I have my own server so that there's nobody else on the server to, be a bad apple and cause productivity and resource hog. So I find that your security, your web host, and web host, security, and your backups are very important. And I got off the topic of allowing change, but I find, let me get back to that because I'm looking at my notes. allowing change. We have to roll with the punches. App developers, software builders, Elementor users, you know, they're making updates and features all the time, adding things, fixing things. We have to be very patient when it comes to allowing change. Features come in, we have to wait for changes, things are coming, like the containers, which have bugs. So yes, one viewer who is watching me now, I have a video coming out tomorrow that talks about some bugs that I see happening with containers. They may be with the columns and sections. I haven't tested that yet, but if you tune in tomorrow at my channel, probably about 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, the video will be up about the bugs that I have found in Elementor. Oh, I have 2 viewers. Oh my goodness, I have 2 viewers. Hello. Now I can't leave and I've been on for an hour. Hey, Pixta! How you doing, Pixta? Thank you. You were here how long ago? I'm going to add you to the broadcast. There you are, Pixta. There you are, Pixta. Hold on just a second. Let me see if I can see. I need the window and I need the program window. Yes, you were on the screen, Pixta. How you doing? Thanks for showing up. It took an hour, but finally people showed up. How's it going, Pixta? So now I'm going to switch gears here. Now that I have 2 viewers, active viewers, we are hoping that Imran gets better, and Imran is sick from Web Squadron today. My voice is not right either. Excuse me just a moment. But it's early in the morning. Oh, thank you. You saw me streaming, so you jumped in. Excellent. So while Imran is sick, I'm filling in the gap for the UK. Go UK. I don't even know what time it is there. Add 6. 12 to 4. 6 o'clock in the afternoon. 6 hours. 4. He normally gets on earlier in the day, like 7 a.m. while I'm still in the bed. Yes, I'm doing good on my first live right there. Hope you watch the replay as yeah, his voice is real bad. He posted a video and he's like, hey everybody, my voice doesn't work. Yes, I'm an actress too. So his voice was bad. Mine's a little scratchy today too. There must be something in the air, in the atmosphere. So at any rate, thank you for coming, Pixta. I'm so glad that I have somebody viewing now. So if you just joined us, you missed my little postcard that I built. That was the first one, and this is the one that I built live because somebody in the local assisted living thinks I need to go there because I got a postcard in the mail. So I built that live, and I struggled because it's noon. Seems you have talents, more talents than we all thought of. Let me see if yep, there we go. Let me move you around. There we go. Add your comment to the screen. Does it go away by itself, or do I have to click it again? Let me just hide it. Okay, there we go. So I know that Imran uses some sort of software. I'm an eCam user, so I can do all kinds of things like control my name on the screen, make it disappear. I can make my name reappear. I have a pedal on the floor from Elgato, an Elgato pedal. And so I can switch scenes. I can switch to a different scene here. That puts, that's one scene. And then I can switch to the full screen that doesn't have my logos on it. Or I can switch back to this. This is what I call when when bad things happen and I don't know what to do, I hit that button on the floor and I go to this scene. If I need to like change something, like change a scene or log into something on the screen that you don't need to see, then I can switch to this scene you're looking at and then go back to, for example, go back to the experiment features that I don't turn a whole lot on. I turn a lot of stuff off in Elementor. I use the favorites, I use the admin, I turn the landing pages, and y'all, the color sampler, it needs help. That's just me, but I don't use the color sampler. I have a better app for that on a Mac, and that is called Color Slurp. Color Slurp. Let me just open Color Slurp here real quick. S-L-U-R-P. Color Slurp. Here's Color Slurp. You can change between HSL, RGB, CMYK, box model. I like HSB because I can switch. I can have the same hue, saturation and brightness, and all I have to do is just change the color, and it stays there. Lovely. So that is Color Slurp, and it's only available on Mac. Sorry, Windows users. Sorry, Windows users. Okay, he uses OBS and tested Emux. What are you using there? I'm using Ecamm. I am using Ecamm. Ecamm is a lovely piece of software. It takes a learning curve. And so I'm going to bring it back up here on the screen. Let's go to Ecamm Live. I have the, they have a wonderful community. Absolutely wonderful community. They have a lot of teachers, a lot of people who provide training on their in their community, and I would say I don't want to call them employees, but they might be employees. Just a lot of people that use the product that have live streaming shows, how to use this. They have marketing for like Amazon. Marketing, how to market with LinkedIn. They have how to use the software, how to live stream. And then they have some, this guy right here in the background, you probably know him, he's from the UK, Adrian Salisbury. Adrian has, I've taken 3 of his courses. That's Adrian in the background there. He has a bunch of courses. Here's Luria Petrucci. I'm killing her name. Luria. I'm just going to call her Luria. She's a big teacher and live streamer, teaching how to use things, cameras. She has all kinds of stuff she does. And so Ecamm, it streams. You can use the DSLR, the Blackmagic, all these. You can use NDI. What is NDI? I don't know, but it's a wireless thing. I can use my iPhone, right here, my iPhone, wirelessly and bring up the signal and use it in Ecamm. I'm not going to do that now because I probably couldn't do it on the fly. And so, yeah, well, let's see the features. Ooh, they got a cool website. In-app comments, live scheduling, advanced overlays that fly in and out. We can have remote guests. We can interview people. Stream Deck support. I have a Stream Deck. Web widgets. You can bring in HTML data from a website. Animations and green screen. So outputs. I haven't even looked at their outputs. Social platform integration. Isolated in audio. Virtual cam and mic. NDI output. Real-time monitoring. Local recording, multi-stream with restream. Here's a tip. Don't buy the software. Don't buy, let's just say this. I'm not going to purchase restream because that's just another subscription. Ecamm's pricey. That's all I'm going to say. Ecamm's pricey. So the hint is, shh, don't tell anybody, but I'm holding out because it's in the works, probably this summer. Right now, in Ecamm, you can only stream to one platform. They're going to make it so that you can restream to 2 platforms, maybe more, I don't know. But they're going to make that feature available. So if you're like, well, I need to restream to Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn and blah, blah, blah. Well, if you need more than 2 streams, go ahead and buy Restream. But I've been holding out because I want to stream simultaneously to Facebook too, and they're going to make that available in Ecamm later this summer, hopefully. Hopefully. So I'm holding out. So here are some of the other people that have streams. You can use the free version of, do they have a free version? Yes, they do. But you can't have interviews. There's obviously with the upsell, they take features away in the free version. You have to pay for the interviewing stuff. I hope to get Imran on here sometime. Yes, sorry, Pixta. Ecamm is just a Mac platform, unfortunately. So yeah, Ecamm has a huge, wonderful, lovely community of people and streams that help out with you learning their product. And it is a very good product. It has taken me since October to get to the point where I can do lives and change scenes and pull things up on the screen. So yeah. Let me just check the stream here. Ooh, 2 people. Lovely, lovely. Let's look at the stream health. The stream is healthy. It has an excellent stream status. That's lovely. Okay, excellent condition. Let's go back to the analytics. Okay, so yeah, I've been on 1 hour and 12 minutes. Sorry to cut you short there, Pixta. I hope you join me again sometime. So this was good practice, and I will see y'all later. Or you'll see me later. That's just a faux pas. I'll see you later, because everybody says that, but actually I don't see you, you see me. So thanks for joining me. I appreciate you stopping by, Pixta, and the other viewer who is not a subscriber yet because they don't have the capability to write comments. You have to be a subscriber for 2 days before you can make comments, and then I have to approve you. If I see you in the comments, I can approve you. And since I know Pixta, I approved him immediately. So I hope y'all come and join me again. I hope to do this every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for joining me, and like and subscribe.